Let's start today by taking ourselves into a comfortable seated position, just working out the shoulders, rolling them back, and then interlace the hands. Press the palms forward as you draw the chin to your chest, just stretching out the back body. On an inhale, reach the palms up high, soften the shoulders down, but find length on the side body. Roll the shoulders. Just kind of working a few things out before we jump into our practice. Palms just open at your sides as we find stillness in the body, but steadiness in our breath. And our focus today is on moving from control to surrender. Moving from trying to control the situation around us and just surrendering to what is. Knowing that we're going to be okay. So we release ourselves from a need to figure all of this out, and we just move and flow with what is happening. So just deepening the breath from the belly, you feel it rise up on the inhale. And then as you exhale, just melting into your mat. Just feeling that wave of breath move through the body. And then just turn yourself, bring the feet hip distance apart. Palms come behind you, fingertips towards the glutes as you draw the shoulder blades together and just press the heart forward. Drawing the navel into spine so you're strong in the core, and then just feeling the heart and the collarbones spread wide. You can take the neck back gently if it feels okay. As you just breathe here, moving from a control to a surrender. Finding surrender in the body. And then just hug the knees in. We're going to start to shift into boat pose here. So you can keep the feet down for a more light version, or you can lift the legs if you want to find vertical with the legs. But reach the arms out, or you can keep the palms on your thighs and just hold here. Knitting the ribs in. Keeping the heart lifted as you exhale, low boat. Inhale, boat. Exhale, low boat. Inhale up. Exhale to low boat. Last one. Inhale, come up boat, and just hug the knees into your chest a few breaths. Coming into table, then making your way to down dog. Just pedaling out your first down dog. Again, just finding surrender in the body. The hamstrings can be a reflection of how we're trying to control situations. So we just move it out so we can come to this place of just fully releasing ourselves from having to figure anything out in this weird space of time. Just step to the top of your mat, forward fold. To inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, moving slow with the breath, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, heart presses forward. Exhale, fold, breathe into tight spaces to let go of that control. Inhale to rise, arms sweep high. Exhale to your heart. Inhale, sweep high. Exhale, cactus arms. Just take another heart opener. Palms open, fingers wide, as just again, what do you need to let go of? Where are you trying to control? Reach up, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. We'll exhale, step back with the right foot, drop the right knee down, uncurl the toes, reach the arms up high, sinking into that left knee. Breathe into the depth of this posture. Find your edge. Exhale, hands come down. You can come to table and then to plank. You can just come right into plank, and we'll lower down chaturanga. Inhale, come up dog. Exhale, press back to down dog. If you want to skip the vinyasas at any point, you can do that. Just make this your own. As you're ready, lift the left leg up. Keep that pinky toe pointing down. Come high on the right toes. Maybe you open the hips, keeping the shoulders squared. Maybe you find some little circles with that left knee. Just find some space. And then straighten the legs, square the hips. We'll step that left foot forward again. Drop the knee down, uncurl the toes, reach high, one full breath. And then exhale, hands come down, curl the toes under, step to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift, exhale to fold. Inhale, rise halfway, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep high. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Reach high, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Stepping back with the left foot, drop the left knee down, uncurl the toes, reach high. Right knee stacks over the ankle. Any posture with your hands, if you want to take reverse prayer behind the head, or hands on your knees, whatever feels good. As you exhale, next breath, you can bring the hands down, framing that front foot, moving into that vinyasa, however you want to get there. Meeting in down dog. This time, right leg lifts as you're ready. Keep the right pinky toe pointing down to the ground. Next inhale, maybe you lift high on the left foot, bend the right knee. Maybe making little circles with the knee or the ankle just to bring a little movement, create a little space. Just checking in where we're trying to control, even in our body, and just giving it room to release. Square the hips, step forward. Dropping the left knee down, uncurl the toes. Inhale, sweep the arms high. Exhale, hands come down, stepping to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Deep bend in the left knee. Bring that left hand underneath the nose, and we'll just reach up with the right arm. Sending breath into the tight parts of your body. Just telling yourself it's okay to surrender, switching sides. It's okay to not know how things work out. It's okay to trust. Exhale, fold it out. Reach high, arms sweep up. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Inhale, sweep high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back with the right foot. This time we'll keep the right knee lifted. If you need to drop it, that's fine, but finding your crescent lunge, sinking in again, sending your breath wherever your body feels really tight. Give it love with your breath. And then hands come down, vinyasa. We'll all meet in down dog. Immediately lifting the left leg up. Open the hips if it's available, otherwise just keep the leg lifted for another breath. Straighten the legs, square the hips. Step that left foot forward again. One breath sweeps high. Inhale. Exhale, hands come down, stepping to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Gently shake out the neck. Maybe interlace the hands behind the neck and just give a gentle pull there. Just taking out tension there. Finding space in all the parts of our body. Inhale, halfway lift again. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep high. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach high. Exhale, fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Stepping back with the left foot, stay up. Keep the left knee up. Crescent lunge. Just find your footing. Reach the arms up. Maybe the hands interlace, maybe they just stay open. But let your gaze be forward and slightly up. Then hands come down, exhale. Stepping back to high plank, we'll meet in your down dog. Feel free to always add more or take anything out, depending on how you're doing in this moment. Then right leg lifts. Maybe you bend the knee, open the hips. And then straighten the legs, square the hips back off. Let's step that right foot forward again. Rise up, crescent lunge, inhale. Exhale, hands come down, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale to fold. This time, take your peace fingers, wrap them around your big toes. You inhale, come halfway lift. Exhale, bend the elbows out to the side. Start to hollow out the belly, find a little more space in your fold. Maybe there's a slight bend in your knees if it feels intense. Shaking the head out gently, releasing your tension. And then release that grip, come to halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep high, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to your heart. Let's just take a few moments here. I read somewhere that says when you trust someone, you don't need to know everything. Bob Goff says that when you trust someone, you don't need to know everything. You can let go of the control and just move and surrender to the one you trust. Inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back with the right foot. We'll square off the hips for warrior one. I like to take my stance a little wider and then bend into that left knee. Keep pressing into the pinky edge of that back foot, keeping the hips rooted forward. Just breathe into the spaces here. Opening up, warrior two. Bending into that left knee, find your depth, and then reverse back. Find space on the left side body. Open up between each rib. Reach back up, windmill the hands down. Come to the ball of the back foot, move through your vinyasa or right to your down dog. And then left leg lifts again. Bend the knee, open the hips. If you have wild thing in your practice, you can flip your dog. Open up here, just another breath. Embrace that back bend. If you've taken it, just come back, lift that left leg, and then step forward. Crescent lunge, inhale to rise. Exhale, hands down, stepping to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Just take another breath in your forward fold here. Notice the space you're already creating in your body to go a little deeper in each posture. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back. Left foot steps back, warrior one on the right side. So find your stance, take your stance a little wider if you need, and then bend into that right knee as you press into the outer edge of your left foot. Lift the waist off the hips, grow taller and longer on the side body. Steady your deep breath. Open up, warrior two. Bending into that right knee. Finding your edge, and then maybe you can surrender a little bit deeper into the posture. Just to be in it, not to control it. Fingers spread wide, reverse back. So letting some of the physical movement be some ways we're representing some internal surrender. Coming back up, warrior two, windmill the hands, come to the ball of the back foot, vinyasa. Come back, down dog, right leg lifts. Again, if you have wild thing in your practice, you can flip over, otherwise just stay with that right leg lifted, maybe the knees bent. If you're in that flip dog, really lift the hips as you arch the back, and then come back in, three-legged down dog, right leg up, and then step it forward. Crescent lunge, inhale to rise. Exhale, hands come down, step to the top of your mat. Inhale to halfway lift, exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we'll step back to plank, drop to the knees, and we'll just take a child's pose for a few moments. Just to really focus on our breath. Just counting it in, maybe 4-second inhale, 4-second exhale. Just noticing where it is that you're desperately trying to grab onto some sort of control in this. Because it can feel so unsettling to feel like any illusion of control we've had has just been stripped away, and here we are just having to take things moment by moment. But if you are one who does believe in God, this is a time where we really are, our trust is really tested. Do we truly believe that God holds us together in all things, that sustains us in everything we're walking through? Because if we can truly press into trusting God, then we don't need to know tomorrow. We can surrender into what is. And that can be hard. So this is truly a time of really pressing into, God, help me to trust you. As you're ready, just start to press back up. If you have a block, or see I have just something from the house I'm going to use, we're going to use it in a little bit to come in a balanced pose. You can hit pause and grab something if you think you might want a block. Then as you're ready, just press into down dog. We'll lift the left leg up. Step the left foot between the hands, coming into that warrior one again. Arms sweep high. Hips squared center. Stay with that full deep breath, and then open up, warrior two. Next breath, reverse back. You can straighten the front leg and reverse. Coming back in, triangle pose, keep that front leg straight, micro bend, hinge forward with the hips. Drop the left hand down, reach the right arm up. If you want to reach that bicep over the ear for a little more stretch, take it. Then this is where you might want your block or your little household prop. Bring that to the outside of that left foot, and we'll just come up half moon. So balance that left hand. If it's on the ground, that's fine. Start to hug the shoulder blades together. Find a little micro bend in that left knee as you open, and stack the hips right on top of left. And then square the hips back off, step back to reverse warrior. And then we'll flow it out, windmill the hands down. Find your way to down dog. We'll take it on the other side. Right leg lifts, step it forward. The inhale rises up into warrior one. Deep breaths, full breaths. Breaths of surrender. Each exhale is your surrender of control. Each inhale just invites whatever's coming. In full trust. Open up warrior two. It's that rest, like when you just trust your parent, you know that they are for your good, that you don't have to figure out the details. You can just be, leave all of that to them, reverse back, straighten the front leg. You don't need to know what's coming. You feel so secure in the love of your parent. We'll hinge forward, triangle, find a little micro bend in that right knee. You know your parent is for you, is for your best, is holding you. And so then you just find comfort in that and you can surrender any need to try to figure anything out. We'll start to shift back into that half moon. So find your little balance, either fingertips to the ground or on a little prop. Micro bend in that right knee as you stack that left hip on top of the right. Hug shoulder blades together. Breathe here. Soften the muscles in your face. Just be in the pose. And then as you're ready, reverse back. Straighten the front leg. And then we'll windmill down, moving through your vinyasa. And we'll just press ourselves back into a child's pose again. Again, slowing the breath down, deepening it. I know for myself, I found a lot of control in how I envisioned my year playing out. I had a plan for how it would all kind of move, being without an actual home right now, a rooted place. I was starting to make plans for how everything would work out for 2020. And I found a lot of safety in that plan. I feel safe when I know what's coming. I want to self-protect in a way, and I feel like all of a sudden it's just been stripped away, and I have no idea how long all of this is, just like the rest of us. No idea how long we'll be in this state, how this affects travel, which was a big part of my 2020. I've had to let go, open my palms up here, and just hold so loosely to any plan I had, to let go of controlling so that I would feel safe. And I just keep hearing this invitation of, Allison, will you hold your hands open and let it be? Just release your need to control. We just slowly press ourselves back up. We're going to move into camel, coming up on our shins, stacking the hips over the knees, and we'll just bring our hands to our low back. Let the fingertips rest on the glutes. Elbows hug in as we just lift the chest. Press the hips forward as you just find a little back bend here. Letting your heart be open and saying, I trust. Letting go. Come sit to the shins, palms face open on your lap, just a few breaths. Letting your palms be your expression of, okay. Light grasp on any place of control. And with our inhale, just receiving peace to be. We'll take another camel pose. If you want to take that same variation we just did, go for it. If you want to curl the toes under and just gently reach back for the heels. But we want to keep those hips moving towards just in line with the knees. So keep pressing the hips forward if you're in that, wherever you are in the camel posture. Breathe into your heart space. Feel that breath that just reminds you you're okay. That you can be in the present, in the unknown, and be safe. Lower down, come back to your shins, palms open. Sigh out anything that comes up. And as you're ready, we'll just make our way into down dog. We're going to shift into lying pigeon. So just lift the hips high, take a down dog for a moment. And then as you're ready, lifting the left leg, bring that left knee to the left wrist. Just settling into your pigeon. If this isn't comfortable, you can come to your back and thread the needle. But just check that right the right toes are in line with the hip. If you're rolling onto a side, you could take a blanket and just scoot it under that right hip to level out. And as you're ready, just walk into it, surrendering into the posture. Maybe if you need that expression with your hands to be open. But breath by breath in this posture, noticing where in your body you're trying to control, what muscles you're still gripping in this posture of just release. So I know for myself, I was holding tight because I think the way I was envisioning it, my year to roll out was best. But that to let go and to move in the flow and simply let things unfold, it feels wild. I want to self-protect. I want the control because for some reason it feels safe. And I just know God's inviting me into this place of trust that I haven't known, that none of us have maybe ever known before. That says, I know it feels wild, but I am for your good, even in the midst of all this uncertainty, of all this panic. I am in the center of it all. You can gently press yourself back up, make your way to down dog as you're ready, moving slow, and just maybe lift that left leg, shake it out. Switching sides as you're ready. Taking your time. There's no rush here, nowhere else you need to be. Just checking back that your left heel's in line with your hip. There's a little flex in that right foot, finding a few breaths lifted, squaring your hips off. And then as you're ready, you can just come into a lying pigeon. And so the invitation for each of us on our mat today is some radical trust. This radical trust dropped down in the center of all this chaos and confusion and fear. That says you don't need to fear. When you trust someone, you don't need to know everything. That we believe that God and the world is for us. God is pulling you into more than you can imagine. So where do we just loosen the grip, loosen our sense of control, and flow in what is? Gently pressing up as you're ready. Slowly finding your way to that down dog and shaking out the leg, the right leg. And then we'll just step to the top of the mat, come squat down, come to seated. Letting the legs come out long. We'll just take a seated forward fold, reach the arms high, hinging from the hips, staying with that flat back till you find your edge. Then drop the hands down at your sides or around the feet. Keep that heart pressing forward as the shoulders drop back, chin to chest. So where do you most feel a lack of control? Just let those thoughts come to your mind. And then notice the feelings attached to that. Are there expectations you have on yourself or others? Just come back up. We're going to make our way to our back. Hugging your knees into your chest. We'll cross the right knee over the left, scoot the hips to the right, and drop the knees to the right. Drop the knees to the left. Finding a spinal twist here. Letting the shoulders relax away. Remember, if you're crunching them in and trying to control and hold tight, let them soften. So is there some expectation you have for yourself or for others in this season? Can you let go of those? And the quiet you've created by moving your body, just releasing all that trapped emotion in your body. In the stillness now, can you just hear Spirit whisper your name? Speaking directly into these places you want to control. Can you hear that whisper just tell you it's okay? You're okay. As you're ready, gently come back center. Hug the knees in for a moment before switching the other side. Scoot the hips to the left, drop the knees to the right. Hear Spirit say your name, tell you it's okay. That you don't need to know how all of this turns out. That even though it might not feel like it, it is actually safe to trust me. Spirit's reminding you of its nearness. God is with you in it, holding you close, yet still seeing a greater story. God sees the big picture and just invites us to stay on this page today. Just melting into those arms of strength, of safety, in a world that feels so unsafe right now. Be surrendered to the love that is greater than fear. Gently coming back out. Hugging your knees into your chest. As we prepare for Shavasana, if there's any final posture you want to take just to work anything out, use this next few breaths to do that. And then when you're ready, just start to let your legs come out long. Let your arms be at your sides, palms open. Take a full, slow breath in. Open mouth, sigh. In your Shavasana, just noticing any place where your body's still trying to control. Maybe it's in the jaw and you need to relax. Maybe it's in the space between your eyes, or with an overactive mind that's just inviting you to rest. Richard Rohr says, "We do not handle suffering. Suffering handles us in deep and mysterious ways that become the very matrix of life, especially new life. Only suffering and certain kinds of awe lead us into genuinely new experiences. All the rest is merely the confirmation of old. It seems that nothing less than some kind of pain will force us to release our grip on our small explanations and our self-serving illusions. Resurrection will always take care of itself whenever death is trusted. It is the cross, the journey into the necessary night, of which we must be convinced, and then resurrection is offered as a gift. So in this time of great suffering in our world, we have to ask ourselves, what are we going to do with our pain? Will we blame others? Are we going to try to fix it and control it? No one lives on this earth without pain. It is the great teacher, although none of us want to admit it. Coming back, you can just gently come hugging your knees in. Just rolling onto your side in a fetal position. So can we surrender into some of the suffering that we're experiencing and just see it as our teacher? Trust that it's taking us somewhere new. Stop trying to control it and resist it, but to be held right in the middle of it. So you're ready, press yourself back up. Come to seated with your eyes closed, your gaze softly down. Slow breath in, sigh it out. From control to surrender. Bringing your hands to your forehead, thumbs touch your forehead, peace in your mind. Put your hands to your heart, peace in your heart. Palms open on your knees, peace in your body as we move from control to surrender.